Fairy tales. Do you believe in fairy tales? Back in 1697, Charles Perrault wrote a story about a young girl who was being treated cruelly and then rescued by a handsome, rich, charming prince. They then married and lived happily ever after. He saved her from all her sufferings. We know this story as a Cinderella story. To this day, Cinderella is a all-time favorite of almost everybody, and it's where we, especially girls, little girls, learned what true love is, according to Charles. In my experience in asking people the meaning of love, what they think love means, is always the same answer, almost always. And that answer is when someone cares for you and loves you unconditionally. Loving you meaning be there for you 24/7, supporting you 24/7, forgiving you 24/7, just unconditional no matter what you do. They're not going to leave, they're going to be there for you. I not too long ago read or I watched a YouTube video. His name was Matthew Hussey. He said that there's no such thing as unconditional love. He says that relationships are defined by or it's a teamwork effort. That's all a relationship is. It's all about teamwork, give and take. There's no such thing as unconditional love. Although I've too been conditioned by the Cinderella story, where this Prince Charming is going to come in and save me from all my sufferings, and this man is going to marry me and rush me off into this palace, and we're going to live happily ever after ever. Yeah. No arguing or anything. Yeah, I grew up with that. But what Matthew said really rang true to my ears. So we expect a flawed person, just as flawed as ourselves, if not worse, to unconditionally love us. That means to take all our crazy, all our everything, and say, it's okay, we love you anyways. But what if they don't do that? What if we do something and they can't forgive, or that unconditional love turns into a conditional love? What happens then? Here's part two of Cinderella that we never seen. This is the Rebecca version. So, after only a short few weeks of living with Prince Charming, Cinderella found that her prince was a spoiled brat. He had absolutely no resilience to anything. He didn't suffer any adversities. Everything was handed to him and given to him. Whereas with Cinderella, she suffered a great deal. Their worldviews were on two different scales. So their conversation went from, oh, I love you, I love you, I love you, to when after the love, the beginning went away, it was like, okay, let's really talk. And they found they had nothing really in common besides that initial attraction to each other, because their worldviews was too different. Every time they tried to have a conversation, they began to argue because it was a misunderstanding. Because of those misunderstandings, their conversations, their communication became less and less, and Cinderella ended up being alone once again in a big palace, but seems to be in a situation to where she's no longer in love. In the Greek language, there are 7 different meanings of love, which are 7 different ways humans are drawn to others. This made so much sense to me. But Jenna Birch tells us about these 7 things. I'm going to read them off note cards to you very quickly. We have Eros, Eros. It's a romantic love. It's passion, lust, and pleasure. It's an appreciation for one's physical being or beauty and driven by attraction and sexual belonging. Storge is empathy bond. It's a protection, kinship-based love. You're most likely to experience this with family members. Philia is a friend bond. It's characterized by intimacy, knowing, and soul-to-soul bonds. It's encouraging, kind, and authentic. Agape, this is my love. Agape is an unconditional God-like love. It's a love for others that's inclusive of a love for God, nature, strangers, or less fortunate. It's connecting with altruism. Lotus. Lotus is a playful, flirtatious love. We have a lot of that going around. Philatia. I think I'm saying that right. It's a self-love. It has two concepts. A care-based love that reinforces self-esteem, and a selfishness that can be pleasure and fame-seeking and highly concerned with status. So be careful when somebody says that you're fallacious. It could be meaning one or the other. Pragma is what I desire. Pragma is a love built on commitment, understanding, and life-term best interest. Jesus expressed agape love in the Bible when he was talking to Peter. He asked Peter 3 times, "Do you love me?" He asked him, "Do you love him agape?" And Peter responded in I don't want to say it right, philia, love, which means a friend bond. Jesus asked him again, "Did you love me agape?" Jesus wanted to know if you love me unconditionally, and Peter answered, and Jesus knew his heart was, "I love you as a friend." He doesn't love him unconditionally. You read the Bible, you will see why he proves that he doesn't love him unconditionally. He denied him. But anyway, Jesus wants us to love him with agape love. And I believe that only Jesus can love us 24/7, be there for us and rescue us with a agape love. I don't believe that man is built for that. That's just my belief. Do I believe in fairy tales? Yes. Why? Because I have a Prince Charming that is handsome, rich, charming, loving, and he came and rescued me from all my sufferings, and his name is Jesus. Yes, it is. Like I said, and our palace that we live in is within myself. It's within my mind. We have a great love story, and I love him unconditionally with all my heart, and he loves me unconditionally with all his heart. I believe that man can love you with a pragma love, and we can live life forever on this earth if we choose to make that decision to do so underneath the laws of God. If you tell someone you love them unconditionally, make sure you know the true meaning of unconditional love versus pragma love. That is the end of my speech. If you have any questions, please comment below. My name is Rebecca. I'm a senior at OCU University, and you have a blessed day.